generating 1600 kilonewton thrust. The tracking station at SHAR Sriharikota continues to track.
जी हाँ, यान पूर्णतः सामान्य निष्पादन करता हुआ अपेक्षित पथ का अनुकरण करता हुआ उद्दिष्ट मिशन की ओर बढ़ रहा है।
Stage authorization issued.
तृतीय चरण यानी क्रायो स्टेज चरण को अनुमोदित कर दिया गया है।
SHAR and BlueBird ground stations continue to acquire data.
L110 stage separated. Cryo stage ignition command. Cryo stage ignition confirmed.
यहाँ सभी वैज्ञानिकों के लिए ये एक हर्ष का पल होता है। रेंज निदेशक द्वारा भी इसकी पुष्टि की गई। द्वितीय चरण को सफलतापूर्वक बनकर यान से पृथक कर दिया गया है तथा अंतिम चरण तृतीय चरण प्रज्वलन शुरू हो चुका है।
Now the third stage of LVM-3 rocket, the cryogenic stage, has commenced its operation.
Cryo stage performance normal.
It is thrusting nominally with 28.6 tons of cumulative propellant loading of liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. The engine develops 200 kilonewtons thrust.
LVM-3 रॉकेट के ऊपरी चरण जो कि क्रायोजेनिक अपर स्टेज कहलाता है, क्योंकि इसमें क्रायो ईंधन लिक्विड हाइड्रोजन तथा लिक्विड ऑक्सीजन का प्रयोग होता है। यह इंजन गैस टरबाइन की मदद से लगभग 200 किलोन्यूटन का सामान्य प्रणोद उत्पन्न करता है। इस चरण का कार्यकाल 648 सेकंड का होगा। इस चरण का व्यास 4 मीटर तथा ऊंचाई 13.5 मीटर की होती है। इस चरण में दिशा निर्धारण के लिए इंजन जिम्बल कंट्रोल और रिएक्शन कंट्रोल सिस्टम्स का प्रयोग किया जाता है। इस चरण में कुल 28.6 टन क्रायो ईंधन का भराव हुआ है और यह अपनी उद्दिष्ट कक्षा की ओर अग्रसर है। क्रायो चरण सबसे जटिल इंजन माना जाता है क्योंकि क्रायो ईंधन जैसे लिक्विड।
All right, now the cryogenic upper stage separation has commenced. Dr. Gurprasad, what can you tell us about the cryogenic upper stage separation?
Cryogenic upper stage has not yet separated. Actually, the second stage has separated, liquid stage. Let me tell you the exciting things about this launch. For a common man, we can't even comprehend such things from the point of view of our day-to-day life. The very first thing is when the rocket lifted off, 2 candlesticks kind of S-200 boosters, they were firing. Do you know how much of propellants each one has got? Each one has got 207,000 kilograms of propellant, solid propellant. And that much actually is burnt out in about 2 minutes 20 seconds. So that means the prodigal rate at which the propellant was consumed, it could not be imagined. So we can call them as the proverbial Bakasuras. In fact, in Mahabharata we get it, such name. So that is one part of it. Even when they were still firing, that's what I want to say, still when S-200s were firing, the central liquid stage also ignited. Together they were firing for quite some time. Then the S-200 separated, but still the second stage was burning. It took the rocket to still higher level. Then only, even after about, let us say about 50 seconds later, around 3 minutes or so into after the liftoff, the payload fairing, these are all very technical terms. Payload fairing is a covering which engulfs it will be covering the satellite, because once it goes out of atmosphere, there is no need to cover it. The satellite can be exposed to space. After this event, the second stage, which is the liquid stage, that is the one which has separated. And now it's a matter of pride. Now the cryogenic stage, which is the most complex, the most efficient stage, is firing now. It will fire for about 10 minutes, 10 to 11 minutes, because only at around 9:40 seconds or so into the flight, the essential speed or the necessary speed or velocity which is to be acquired by the satellite is provided to it by the launch vehicle, especially the third stage. That is the one which engineers say it is thrusting. Thrusting means it is working now. And every second the speed of the rocket and the attached satellites are increasing at a phenomenal rate. So at a height, when ultimately about 15 minutes after the liftoff, when this satellite is separated, it will be moving, Group Captain Jha told earlier, 7.6 kilometers per second. For a common man, you know how much it is? It is about 27,000 kilometers per hour. That is the 1,000 times the average speed. Let me repeat, the average speed with which we will be traveling in Delhi or in Bangalore on our roads. So this is the way, in about 15 minutes, a rocket which is standing like a rock will achieve a speed of 27,000 kilometers per hour. It is not only the speed enhancement, at the same time you have to provide the speed in the right direction. That is where the guidance system of the rocket comes into picture. So this is what is happening now. Cryogenic, you know, this is a fully indigenous cryogenic stage. Actually they call it a C25, that is it has a propellant. Propellant means fuel plus oxidizer. Fuel in this case is liquid hydrogen, oxidizer in this case is liquid oxygen. Okay, together they are called as propellants, and they are being utilized to make the rocket engine work. And you know, very few countries, USA, Russia, China, Japan, and Europe, in Europe especially France and India, only these 6 countries have this kind of technology. With us, we have 2 types of cryogenic technology. It's a matter of pride. When we think of Atmanirbharata, many people might dismiss it, but it is a case of Atmanirbharata, and I am very proud to be an Indian. Thank you.
Yes, of course, Dr. Guru Prasad, this is a very, very proud moment for India indeed. And of course, it's a big, big day for ISRO as well. Now, I want to go across to Mr. Venkateshwar Sharma. He's a former ISRO Deputy Director. You know, Mr. Sharma, it's interesting, of course, this is a big day. I'd like your opening comments on that. But the second part to my question really is that we're also talking about the heaviest foreign satellite from Indian soil to space. And I'd like to understand from you, why really is this satellite heavy? What is the reason particularly for that?
Good morning to you and good morning to million viewers of NewsX. Yes, of course, 6,500 kg is a very heavy satellite which is being launched by the Indian rocket into the low Earth orbit anytime from now. The importance is that this satellite, the BlueBird 2 series of satellites, is for the connectivity, the cellular connectivity, direct connectivity from the satellite to any of the normal cell phones for 4G, 5G type of connectivity. And this has got totally 60 satellites network, which is completely different from those networks that are already available, something like Starlinks or any other network where thousands of satellites, 2,400, 2,500 satellites are required minimum to cover the entire globe when you talk about cellular connectivity. So this particular satellite is a very innovative and satellite where 2,400 square feet of the phase array antenna, which is a power hungry and type of antenna which is used for connecting to the cellular network in the ground and also to the global coverage. The 60 satellites altogether, they are expected to launch by 2027, 2028. Therefore, in these 2 years, if they are able to complete this, and this is going to be one of the finest network that is available in the space for the cellular connectivity. As far as this particular satellite is concerned, this is 6,500 kg, which is the first time that LVM-3 is lifting into the low Earth orbit. LVM-3 the heaviest that we lifted was CMS-03, 4,500 kg into GTO, that is 170 by 20,000 kilometer orbit. But LVM-3 is capable of carrying much higher loads, such as up to 16 tons, that is 16,000 kg into the lower orbit. Of course, depends on which orbit, which angle, and what distance we are carrying. For example, the Gaganyaan, which is going to be started in 2026 and 27, which is likely to weigh between 10-12 tons, which is to 408 kilometer orbit. The same LVM-3 with 50 meter height and about 650 tons man-rated mission will be carrying. And this particular mission of the BlueBird is going to be a forerunner for all our future mission, is one part. Second part is that BlueBird is going to make another 59 satellites in coming years. Of course, they need huge budget for making all of them. I'm sure they have plans for them. And if that happens, and if the country gets a commercial business out of this 59 satellites, if you are able to launch 59 satellites for them, it's a good commercial business for NSIL in particular, ISRO in large, and the country, in a much larger perspective. If you see the coordination, cooperation between the two countries, namely America and India, and the particular organizations, ISRO and AST, for such launches will be really a big milestone. And also, we have 4 different launch vehicles, small satellite launch vehicles, launch on demand. Anytime you can launch to 300 to 400 kg into low Earth orbit. Then we have a PSLV, which can take up to 2,000 kg, 2,000 to 3,000 kg into low Earth orbit. And we also have the GSLV, which can take 2,200 to GTO and about 4,000 kg to low Earth orbit. And the Bahubali, which is the heaviest of all of them, which can take up to 16 ton, that is 16,000 kg into the low Earth orbit. But generally, the current vehicle can take up 8,000 kg to low Earth orbit, but it can be scaled to take up to 16,000 kg. Therefore, if you see the entire spectrum of the launch vehicles, we have capability to take from 300, 400 kg to low Earth orbit up to very large, weight up to 10,000 kg. I can say today to low Earth orbit is something which the country can offer to the entire world as a competitive and competent and reliable launch vehicle for many applications, be it low Earth orbit or the geosynchronous orbit. And this is something which is really challenging also, and also a great achievement. Of course, 2047, which is 100 years of independence, where Atmanirbharta is expected. I think these are all the milestones and a step towards achieving the milestone. And 2035, what is being planned for the Chandrayaan-4 launch, and the BSS, that is the Bharat Space Station, will complete the entire gamut of the space activities required as part of Atmanirbharta for 2047. I think we are definitely slowly but steadily moving towards the targets of achieving the complete self-reliance in the space, both in satellite as well as in the launch vehicle arena. So, of course, satellites, we have many types of satellites, like low Earth orbit in Earth observation for our own application, geosynchronous satellites for communication and other applications, and we have science, science satellites like Chandrayaan, Mangalyaan, Suryaan, etc., and Gaganyaan is started. Looking into all this, if you see both in terms of satellites, self-sufficiency, and the launch vehicle, I think we are moving forward. And heavy lift vehicle is also planned in the years to come. With all this, I think it is a great step forward, and all encouragement and best wishes for ISRO in particular, nation in large, for achieving Atmanirbharta as it has been talked and as it has been planned by the government of India.
All right. Now I have Mr. Anil Prakash. He's the Director General, Space Industry Association, also joining me. Now, Mr. Prakash, my question, of course, a big day for India. We're all so proud. How significant is this mission really in the context of India's growing role in global space technology?
Yes, it is a proud movement, and for the entire nation as well as space industry. And space industry is growing unprecedented way. Just look at 4 or 5 years back, when government allow private sector to come in, a co-partner with ISRO for all the future mission.
newcomer from USA, that is AST Space Mobile. Let me congratulate the New Space India Limited, the launch vehicle teams of the Department of Space, and the satellite project team of AST Space Mobile on this outstanding achievement and contribution for the global community. This is our 104th launch from Sriharikota, also the 9th successful mission of LVM-3 launch vehicle, demonstrating its 100% reliability. As all of you may recall, we had the LVM-3 launch just last month, 2nd November 2025. This is also the first time we have a back-to-back mission of LVM-3 within just 52 days. It's a great achievement and a great target achieved as per the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister of India. This was not an easy task considering the enormous efforts required, because it requires very close coordination among various teams at different ISRO centers, units, industry, launch complex, and the entire infrastructure availability. I take this opportunity to congratulate each and every team members for achieving this great feat for our country. Today's mission has brought yet another important glory to the India. This is the heaviest satellite ever lifted from Indian soil using a Indian launcher. This is also the third fully commercial mission of LVM-3, and the vehicle has demonstrated its excellent track record, including the Chandrayaan-2, Chandrayaan-3, OneWeb missions and CMS-3 satellites. This has injected in the orbit. Dear friends, I am extremely happy to announce the performance of the orbit what we have got is less than 2 kilometer dispersion. We have got, this is one of the best performance of any launch vehicle in the global arena. With this mission, India has successfully launched 434 satellites for 34 countries. In today's mission, as I told, all the vehicle systems have performed extremely well. We have also, for the first time, inducted electromechanical actuation control system for the S-200, which is also successfully demonstrated for the first time. This gives us great confidence for the Gaganyaan program. And this achievement is because of the guidance, mentorship given by our elders, the robust review mechanism, hard and smart work of every Department of Space team members, our industrial partners, academia, for their outstanding contribution. On this occasion, let me also thank our mentors for the strong foundation made for us to stand great and accomplish this type of great missions. Also, let me take the opportunity to thank AST Space Mobile for having great confidence on Indian launcher and giving this opportunity for accomplishing this great feat. Even though a launch vehicle mission is a very, very tough job, today, the way the launcher has performed, that demonstrates the confidence and the single-minded devotion and hard and smart work of every members of the space activity. Let me congratulate all the review team members, audit committee members, and the entire elders, all the elders, and our family members on this great occasion. As you all know, the reward for hard work is more work. We are having lot of program in our hand, and we have to accomplish everything perfectly in a very systematic way. Right now, the orbit details are with me. We intended to achieve 520 kilometer circular orbit. What we have got is close to 518.5 kilometer circular orbit. That is the performance of this vehicle. With this, right now, we are having the leaders of Indian space program with me. So first, let me ask the project director and the mission director, Mr. Victor Joseph, to address the gathering. Mr. Victor.
Thank you, sir. Very good morning to everyone. And once again, LVM-3 has risen to the occasion. Respected Chairman ISRO, former Chairman, Center Directors, senior colleagues, and all those attending here and online. Today, we have the 9th consecutive successful flight of LVM-3 and the 3rd international collaborative mission for LVM.
All right. I now, of course, have Mr. Anil Prakash, Director General, Space Industry Association. Now, Mr. Prakash, we're, of course, hearing about the aftermath, all the statements that are coming in by ISRO. Now, my question really to you is that, what strategic importance really does the BlueBird Block-2 mission have for national security and communications in India?
Yes, it is I think this is a watershed movement. So first of all, as ISRO spokesperson, that this is confidence has been built up with global, satellite players, that India is a destination of a secure launch thing, and India is affirming their position as a successful launch pad. So that is the position which we are strengthening day by day, and it will also, we have a home grown launches also in pipeline up to 2035, as a number of missions will, Gaganyaan, Venus or Chandrayaan missions will take up. So I think this will further boost the capability of Indian scientists, space scientists, and both ISRO scientists as well as the private industry scientists, engineers. So this is a remarkable feat, and this has further strengthened our position globally. After Chandrayaan 3, the whole world is start looking India differently. Now it is a further launch of this heaviest launch satellite in LEO Earth orbit will further strengthening our position. And as you know that globally, India has been seen as a space faring nation, and also the space leading nation. So a number of countries are looking forward to India for the space, because they are not sorry about my throat. They don't have a space capability. So India has a leading role in terms of hand holding them. So the private sector will come forward. There we have close to 600 plus space industry, and it's growing very fast. We are adding space startups every year, 50 to 60s. So total strength of space startups are about 370 plus. So we are growing very fast. And government, not only the grade, there are coming a number of schemes for keeping them alive, giving them a good funding position. The ARR fund, RDI fund is being created, especially for the research and development for the indigenous technologies. I think we are slowly moving to the Atmanirbharta, and we're also building up a good resilient supply chain. So the field that I think this is the great feat by the scientists and the industry, and there is a definitely confidence building measures in terms of the space industry people. And as an association, I think this will be the prime movement for us, that the confidence is there in the global industry about India, and we are able to achieve success in terms of those launches. Slowly we are moving towards satellite manufacturing. That capability also we have. So although we didn't have that much share of the satellite manufacturing of the world, but I think we will be catching up there. We are also catching up with the ground segment. Number of the ground station going to be commissioned in India, that will also rely on the world, the constellation which is going into LEO, MEO, GEO. So there we will have a good telemetry track and control system available not only for us, that but also the globally. So I think we are going to play a very important role in the space odyssey further in the future.
All right, I now want to go across to Group Captain Dr. V.N. Jha. He's the former Joint Director of DRDO, and he's the former Indian Air Force officer as well. Now, Group Captain Jha, my question to you is that how do you think ISRO's progress compares with other leading space agencies worldwide?
Phenomenal. ISRO today is one of the force to reckon with in the space science, space technologies. There is no doubt at all. We are far ahead in some of the aspects. By the way, Vaishali, we haven't spoken one thing that ISRO has achieved over and above the all other launches, be it SpaceX, be it Chinese launches, be it Russian launches. After we separate the payload, thereafter ISRO is the only agency which has got a technology fuel left into the upper stage, which maneuvers that launcher back towards the Earth's re-entry. All other agencies, they leave their upper stage into the atmosphere, into the space, which is a space junk, huge junk, which has got the capability to knock down anything that it collides with. So ISRO is the only agency which from 2023 onwards have put this particular aspects of the bringing back the upper stage back to the Earth for the re-entry and splash down somewhere in the ocean. So ISRO has got this over and above that all other launches, all other space agency must take a cue from it. Now secondly, this of course is the US agency's launch of the satellite. Before this we have launched Telios, which is of Singapore, OneWeb of UK. They have had many of the launches through us. Janus of USA, they have had launch from us. Astrocast, OneWeb, we have had many of the launches of many agencies, so they have all good trust into the Indian launcher system. And as Director was mentioning, we have launched of 30 countries payloads into the space. So there is a fairly good amount of repute that our ISRO has got it. But coming back to the question, LVM is the model right now that we have got with the maximum lifting capability, and it has demonstrated. LVM 2 had about 5.4 kgs, 5.4 tons. LVM M3 that had 5.8 tons. Now this particular M6, it has got about 6.4 or so tons. So lifting capability is going up. And remember, right now we have used only 2 strap-on motors, what we call it S200. There could be more, there are room for more. So it has got the capability, much more reserve into this, which can be augmented if the need is there. But I'm coming slightly different. LVM3 and the human-rated LVM3 are by and large similar technology with some small changes, and that is how we are having the confidence that in future, when we launch human-rated LVM3, carrying the modules, the space modules, in which crew are going to be simulated with the humanoid in place, with all types of acceleration being monitored at all times. That is going to prove us that Gaganyaan project, when it goes for the space launch, we'll have complete confidence into the entire system, including the re-entry process, how the accelerations are going to be there in place, how the temperature is going to be controlled.
So I'll have to interrupt you because we're short of time, but I'd like to thank all my esteemed guests for joining me on the broadcast. Indeed, a very big day for India. Thank you so much, viewers, for watching. That's a wrap on this bulletin.